We've done it! I've done it. It's happened. I've beaten Factorio. Space Age, the expansion. It wasn't easy. It took a lot of dedication, 130 or so separate gaming sessions. Quite the bit. And as you can see here, when I started, it was just me as a normal man in a mask before I got transformed. But anyway, yeah, so it was a long experience, and so I thought I would just, share my thoughts and how it went for me, because this game was something else. It was just amazing. This game's a lot like if you took the world's most addictive drug and condensed it down into game form and put it out. This is it. And so there was several times I had to remind myself that, family's important and your offspring, and you got to take care of them. So, I'm happy that it's over. I'm happy that I beat it. It was definitely worth all that time. And so today I just wanted to kind of reflect on that experience. So thank you for joining me. And I wanted to look at some of my stats. So I took all 300 hours of gameplay or so, maybe it was like 250, and made this time lapse. As you can see, we're about 4 hours in here, getting signs set up. I'll stop and take a look at some stuff, but before, I wanted to just present my stats for the game. It was a long game, 10 days, 4 hours, 23 minutes of gameplay time. So, definitely took my time. Didn't want to rush it. I made sure and didn't look at any kind of videos or anything before taking on the challenge. I really wanted to experience it for the first time and not do too much. I think Reddit can ruin it a little bit. Some videos can give away some of the stuff that's kind of fun to figure out on your own. So definitely took my time. Let's see here, individually looking at stats. Bear with me. Let me get this the right size so you guys can see it. It's all blurry. Novice production. So you can see I did a lot of basic materials. Purple science. I got tired of messing around, so went kind of big. Here's a look at kind of the full picture, all 250 hours about. You can kind of see over time as things grew, the factory must continue to grow. Our fluids, lots of steam. I'm big on steam. Steam makes the world go round. Trees, ended up with lots of trees. I was attempting to control the pollution, but didn't quite really make a dent, as you can see. I attempted. I was trying to go up, and made lost a lot of bots, but killed many of these guys. About 41.2 per minute. Interesting. 70 out of 88 of the achievements. You can see my Vulcanus production. Big on wire coils. I think that was just what I was into this game. Mines. I did a lot of mining of the bad guys. Fluids big on steam and lava. Kind of an interesting stat there. And then, yeah, well, I had a lot of epic battles with the worms, and you can see that in the stats here with walls, mines, guns. Very epic battles, very, very epic. Which I only killed about 9 of the small guys and 2 of the mediums. But it was still epic. They were tough. And then Gleba, big on nutrients, 2.6k per minute. My strategy there was just to overflow with the nutrients. Overproduction was my Gleba strategy as far as all this stuff goes. It's okay if it goes bad. I'm gonna make a ton of it. Steam. I did nuclear power on Gleba and just kind of shipped in that because I had so much of it on Novice. Made a lot of trees. Quite a few trees. Yeah. Didn't have a whole lot of issues with the wildlife on Gleba. Just a few times had a few wipes. But with bots and everything, pretty easy. Fulgoria, big on gears. That's mostly what I'm pulling out of the ground these days. By the end, it was all about trying to make legendary and epic accumulators. Very difficult. Yeah, my production of homium never really took off like I wanted it to, but we made way more than we ever needed, so it all worked out in the end. Lots of belts. I was big on belts. Aquilo. So much ice. Ice was the challenge on that. Getting rid of the ice so I could make more ammonia, this stuff. Oh man, so many minutes and hours spent trying to figure that out. Lots of heat. So that was fun. Globally, you can see big production as far as plates go and wire, copper wire. Millions in the millions. Needed lots of plates to beat the game. And lots of steam. Mostly steam, some oil. Made lots of trees and walls and trees and belts over time. And then mining was the big polluter. If I could just not mine stuff. Maybe a future challenge, right? Do no mining and no pollution, and then you'd be good to go. Kills. Lots of asteroids. That's the biggest kill, the asteroids. So, fun stats there. Anyway, that's how that went. So the best part of one of the best parts is, of course, the stats. Let's see, we're about 22 hours into the time lapse after my little stat presentation there. Let's see what we're doing. Do a little quick pause. I'm building too much solar. In desperation. Oh, I started a new side base, so I built my main base and got all the way up to, I think, purple science. And it was kind of like, by the time I got to purple science, it was rough. I didn't have enough resources coming in, so I decided I'm going to build a mega base over here with like a, um, bunch of resources coming in to make it like legit. Because when you build your first base, it's just a noob mistake to make it too small. And so I was like, I'm gonna make a main bus with a bunch of stuff on it, and it's gonna be epic. And it turned out pretty good. As you can see, I got 4 lanes of plates and 2 of copper, which was not enough. And just eventually just kept building and adding on. Railroads was a problem for a minute. Usually when I would run into a problem, I would solve it by just going kind of overboard and be like, I'm solving this once and for all. Which was harder with the plates and the things like that, but something like pipes, I could make enough pipes to supply the whole base at one point. It's like tired of running out of pipes or tired of running out of engines. And so now the base is just, I remember building all that. This was before I'd left the planet, so I didn't have any of like the forges or anything special like that. And so I'm just building fields and fields of furnaces. And then fields and fields of power, trying to power the furnaces. But let's see, I think I just about built a rocket. There was a rocket somewhere in there. And then trying to figure out how to get enough blue circuits was a big challenge. And then by the end, I had so many blue circuits, I didn't know what to do with them all. I was trying to ship them off to other planets. Yes, early shortages. You can see plenty of overrun with the bugs. The bugs had caused some big issues early on. They caused some big issues. Here I am building the bot factory, so once I got bots, I was like, I gotta go hard on the bots. I want so many bots. So, went a little crazy with the bots. Green, my original green one. I didn't know anything about ratios or setting it up so that it could feed directly in. So that was a big problem. Because if you don't feed them directly in, you can't put enough on the belts. Or to feed them all. It was a big issue. So, but yeah, we're like a day in. I sometimes would forget the timer. So the timer's not exactly right. But I kind of just wanted it there to tick the time by so that I could see how long it'd been, the kind of thing. About a day in though. Still really on novice. But we're getting close. I know I built the pad. I wanted to take my time. I didn't want to leave until I was 100% prepared. So I kind of got over prepared. Before I, wanted to leave, I wanted to make sure I had all the space stuff built and automated, and As you can see, I died quite a bit early on. Character corpse, character corpse, character corpse, character corpse. And I kept all the corpses just to remind myself of my past lives, kind of as a tribute to my deaths, because there was a lot. I also spent quite a time figuring out, uranium processing and getting all that going, getting a good loop. Ended up with way too many of those. Just amazing stuff. But yeah, my whole goal when I started playing was to, of course, play the game and have fun and enjoy it, because I'd played it before Space Age and it was a lot of fun. And then Space Age came out, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play it from start to finish, because it's just too much fun. It's too much fun to not. And so I was like, well, let me go ahead and live stream it as well. And then what I can do when I'm done live streaming is take it, put it all together, and make it into one long, like, time lapse. I didn't want to make it quite this fast. This seems a little fast, and so you almost have to pause it in places to see what's going on. You know, see how I'm building my plates in. Oh, here's the ship. But, you know, I ended up playing so long. Hey, we're in space! I ended up playing so long that to make it like a 2-hour time lapse, it had to be about this fast. But it was cool. I got to learn some things about making a lot of video. Basically, I just live streamed it, and then it went all up on YouTube, and then I downloaded all the videos from YouTube, and luckily just had enough space on my hard drive to make it all work, and then used a Python script that Copilot helped me put together. I'm not a genius or anything, that put all the videos together in a time lapse like this in one video. I may make a video showing how all that works at some point, but it was cool. It was a cool project, and it kind of added another element to playing the game, you know. But yeah, look at all that. We got good science going. Lab research speed. We're doing braking force. Here we are about a day in, just kind of cruising along. I stopped doing the video on the live stream. I don't know. It's kind of hard wearing that mask when I was a human, because it was hot, and so before I got left in between the car seats, I turned the camera off. I was like, well, I still want to record it. I still want to play. I just don't want to do the mask and stuff. It was hot, so that's why there's no camera for a lot of this. And then you know, but that's cool. It's cool. You know, and it was a lot of fun. Now you can see some people stop by. I did have a couple visitors. It wasn't completely just streaming to nobody, but you know, it wasn't like huge or anything, but it was just enough for me to have somebody to talk to while I'm playing. You know, it's definitely not something that any of my friends or family are interested in or want to talk about or play. I've tried to get my brother-in-law, who's big into games, to play, but he's more into like Fallout type games, and I just couldn't really get him into this, and it takes such a time dedication. I mean, as you can see, where I'm a day and 15 hours into gameplay time. I would sit down for like 2 or 3, 4, 5 hours sometimes at a time. So I wasn't playing like a day straight through or anything crazy like that. I do have other responsibilities and people and things and stuff, so I couldn't play it. But I did, I did manage to get like a couple hours every night somehow, like 2 or 3 sometimes, even when I probably shouldn't have. Probably should have been asleep, getting ready for work and stuff like that. But I didn't get fired, and I'm still in a relationship, so I think it's a win. I think it's a win there. So yeah, my first ship I built, I really just focused on getting space science. And so I spent a lot of time doing that. Before I even went to Vulcanus, I made the space science and got everything kind of perfect on this novice little island. But yeah, you can see little flashes there of the home screen. That's kind of basically when I switch. That's usually a whole nother day between those. But you can see, there we go. Yeah, look at all that white science. We're getting white science all up in there. And there was times where we had way too much space science. So I think I did pretty good for that first ship and for its purpose of just supplying the white science. Because after that, never had to worry about white science ever again. The space science was just super plentiful. Yeah, see, spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to get, get my uranium processing going good. Spent quite a lot of time. But then once I got it going, it was pretty much infinite. And then I got uranium bullets, which were, good for biters and for everything else. Kind of changed the game a little bit there. Oh yeah, epic wars with the biters. Eventually you get to a point where you have a good perimeter and they can't get through that, and you're really just kind of maintaining the battle. So at this point, that's where I was at, where the biters weren't destroying the factory or really causing too big a trouble, but I did have to kind of battle them at the wall sometimes, and sometimes teach them a lesson if they got too feisty in certain areas and things like that. So but yeah, it was just, it kept going and going and going, and it was like, it just has to keep growing. They just need, I would run into things where it's like, I just need more of this. I got real tired of the bugs, so I built a whole like weapon development section that was just designed to develop everything from like tank shells to nukes to everything I thought I might need. And just kept building on that, and then would run out of stuff, so I'd have to like expand the plate processing, and there was copper shortages for the longest time. And then by the end of it, the copper was so plentiful, it was just crazy. But yeah, I had a lot of issues with copper. But once you get the forges, then it kind of changes everything. So, like, I took my time. I'm still not at Vulcanus here. We're 2 days in, 48 hours, still not at the other planet, which I think is a mistake. I should have gone faster. I may try to do one of the other achievements. Like, they have some that are like beat it in 100 hours or stuff like that. So I may try that. I feel like I could maybe do the 100 hours. There's one that I think is 30 hours, which I probably can't do, but would maybe try to do the 100 hours. I bet if I, knowing what I know now, and there we are, Vulcanus. It's on the map. But I'm scared. Now I'm like, okay, now I know how to get there, and I'm going to build a better boat called the Planet Finder. And now, yeah, I had to figure out Vulcanus. That was a lot of fun. Figuring out how calcite works with lava and how you have to get rid of the rocks. And then once you figure it out, you have almost like unlimited plates and all that fun stuff. So that's fun. And then figuring out, I have to go find some other resources that are over by the bugs, by the big worms. Yeah, I had to figure out sulfur to make the power and bring everything over. I remember trying to ship a lot over there from Planet Finder, and oh yeah, my poor boat, my poor space boat getting beat up all the time. That was rough. But yeah, a lot of fun trying to figure out space logistics. And then yeah, I don't know why I put so many storage tanks for the lava. I was just like, let's make lava. We can make so much of this. It's like unlimited plates. But yeah, Vulcanus, a lot of fun to figure out all the little tricks there. I feel like I'm a lot smarter now. For like the next run, I would totally, for real, be able to do it like mega. I mean, like, I feel like with Vulcanus, you maybe should do your spaceship building there, and then do science on Novice. I don't know. I feel like maybe you could figure it out a certain way. You'd have to do it big, but where you could build all the stuff for building ships on Novice pretty freely. Like, you can get so much resource out of it, which I really didn't take advantage of this run because I didn't ever really understand it until later in the game, and I was like, oh, I need to scale up. How do I do that? And it's like, oh, okay, this stuff on Vulcanus is how you scale. This forge, this stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I went to Vulcanus first, and I think that was probably the right choice. I didn't really have a lot of like information on which one I should go to, and so it just kind of ended up being that one, kind of by chance a little bit. I don't know if I'd do a different one next time, because yeah, I don't know. I think Vulcanus is probably where it's at. Oh yeah, I tried to do a thin ship because I was like, okay, thin goes faster, so I'm gonna do the thinnest possible ship ever. Yeah, Nash came by. I remember him. Wanted to say hi. So if you're watching, Nash, what's up? I appreciated you during the stream. You made it more fun. But yeah, I just kept building and building. I was like, okay, I gotta figure out circuits and all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, maybe I have to build everything on each planet. I didn't really understand how it worked early on, so I was still trying to figure it out and do all that kind of stuff. So, I built all the green, and then I built some red and tried to figure out plastic, and then I had to figure out how to kill the bug guy because all the tungsten was in the bug's territory, and So I just built lots of guns and was like, okay, I'm gonna have to like lure him in, figure out how to get him over here to all these guns and keep it up, because as soon as you stop shooting them, they start healing up, and so you have to keep the pressure on them. And that dead. It happens. It happens a lot to me. So speed run, it won't happen. I'll be better. I'll be smarter. I understand the dangers now. I've been through the dangers. I understand what I need to do and how to make it okay. I'll be better next run. But yeah, we've spent a lot of time Vulcanus, just trying to figure it out. I'm learning how to do boats. It's my third ship. Yeah, the Dart, which worked surprisingly well. It didn't do too bad. I had a couple darts not make it, which we'll probably see. Eventually I learned, okay, I need to do a lot of ships, going back and forth, bringing stuff and taking stuff. The more the merrier, honestly. I think if I'm doing a speed run, I'm going to be trying to make like 10 ships at a time and just keep it constantly going. Don't stop, get it kind of thing. And yeah. And then I was like, okay, now that I have artillery, I was very excited. So I was like, I got to get this back to novice and use artillery on the bugs, which I did. Caused them to attack. But very, very much fun with bugs. Fun with bugs. Artillery was a game changer. That was so much fun. When you get artillery, it's like, woo, artillery, and they just, oh, so much bug destruction. It's almost like you're getting revenge for all the times that they came and wiped your bases. You finally get the artillery, and you just, it's very nice. You get revenge on the bugs. So that's if you're struggling and you're trying to get through it and you're like, oh my gosh, like I get these bugs, they just this is so hard. Just keep at it. Eventually, you're gonna get revenge. You're gonna get them back. So yeah, when I was figuring it out, it was total spaghetti. I would just have one ship, one rocket, not enough. Was not even close to enough. And then yeah, I tried to do mega science. Turbo transport belt. We're on turbo. Yeah. One thing I really liked about the game was all the science and the technologies. Like they're very complex and so many and so much add-on stuff that I just, yeah, it's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Makes me want to play maybe some of the mod add-ons, like that have more different recipes and technologies and things like that. But I don't know. I just finished. I can't dedicate myself to anything other than maybe grabbing some of those other achievements. I got like 18 achievements I could try to grab. But no, I gotta get back to like living life, and I can't get sucked into those. I know that there's guys out there that have over 2,000 hours of playtime, and that you know, they're approaching some of them even like 4,000. I'm sure there's even like 10,000 professional, people, but I don't know. I mean, it might be okay, but I don't know if I can make a lot of money doing that. And I kind of need to figure out how to make us some money. It's not easy making money as a French fry. You gotta like figure out different ways to do it. You gotta be like entertaining or things like that. Yeah, Papa X, okay, I'm gonna try to make more darts. Falgoria, we made it! The junk planet. And I'm like, what is all this? Okay, there's a recycling machine, so obviously I gotta recycle all this rat. But yeah, a whole nother thing to figure out. And my islands, the first island I got on was good. It had a ton of scrap, but no room. And so I built up all this stuff, but ran out of room very quickly and realized, okay, I gotta get all the scrap off this tiny island and over to the bigger island over that way. So I had to do a lot of work there. It was a tough lesson to learn. When you run out of room and you're like, I gotta build more stuff in there. There's no room and I can't, and you can't build over the ocean. Later on, there's foundation, but I didn't get that until way later. Way later. Oh yeah, and then I decided tub. I was like, I need a big boat. I need a big boat. I need something that holds a lot and has a lot of guns and can take a lot of stuff. Yeah, still trying to figure out Falgoria. It was rough. It was rough. All right, hang on. Let me pause for just a second. Let's take a look. Oh yes, my fun train system to bring in the juice and take out the old. Never quite worked. I had the best intentions. I redesigned it several times, but it never. It's probably like if we started it up right now, it's probably broken right now. So anyway, yeah, Falgoria was a big challenge with the island size, but man, it was a trip. Kind of starting Falgoria, pulling those blue circuits straight out of the ground like nothing was fun, and then trying to figure out how to sort all those different things coming out of the ground was a big challenge. And I never really got science on Falgoria going at a good pace. I mean, it was an okay pace. And yeah, I went heavy mining productivity. I was worried about running out of resources, but when I started the game, I did mega resources. So I did, huge patches, as you can see, with lots of stuff on them, and so I never really had too much of a problem there. Just a little bit, maybe with my first patch. But I was worried about it, so. And then I did a bunch of artillery stuff because I was excited about it. And yeah, just kind of expanding, building. We're on day 3, and it was just all about keeping going at this point. Trying to figure out how to get my little dart ships to go good, and my tub was still building him. I didn't have a lot of rockets yet on Novice, so it took a long time to build ships. It wasn't as quick. By the end, I had so many rockets that as soon as I would put a ship, it would just go quick. It was like super build, but. And I went with a ton of engines on Tub. I was like, okay, he's big. He's going to need a lot of engines. He's going to need a lot of engines to go real fast. They never went really fast, but they had a lot of engines, and they could take a lot, and they were big. And I went way overboard with the asteroid processing. I was like, I'm going to go crazy. I did not need that many. I learned my lesson with Tub. Learn my lesson with Tub that you don't really need that many asteroid processing. Like it's pretty crazy if you look. Like, let's see if I can get it. Like, I went, whoa, too much. So, it was a learning process, right? You know, I didn't know any better, and you gotta learn those things. I mean, it worked okay. It worked. Tub, I made a bunch of tubs. You'll see here in just a minute. This design worked well enough. I was like, okay, I can make more of these. I can make more of these. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out Fagoria. And they're like, okay, I gotta get to this other island. I gotta build a train over there to get all this stuff off this island. So I tried to build this big train. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop at this other island, but then there's nothing there. So why stop there? I just wasted some time and resources building a little stop there in the middle that I don't need. Maybe one day. But yeah. Oh, learning. And then there was another island over to the other side that I started on, but I was like, let's go to this guy. This island seems a little bit easier to get to. And I built it big over there. That's where I built all the spaceport and the processing and everything. It was on this island. And even this island was too small. Eventually I go north. My Fagoria base ended up pretty big, I would say. Probably could have been a little bigger, maybe. Because at the end, I was finding some constraints. I was running into constraints pretty bad at the end, so I had to figure that out. Had to keep just building, keep it going. Yeah, I ran into water problems on Fulgoria. I was trying to generate electricity, which really the trick is to get accumulators going so that you can get the lightning and use that. But I was trying to bootstrap some electricity with a lot of solar panels and water, and I was running out of water and trying to deliver it from space. And oh yeah, my tubs was getting destroyed there. Had to work on that and add more guns and figure out all that fun stuff. And then work on my sorting and trying to figure that out. And I was like, okay, I'm going big on bots. But the bots got kind of overwhelmed. Oh yeah, researching Tesla weapons, which I should have probably used more. I didn't end up using them too much. Maybe that's something I'll go back and do. I think the Tesla weapons would have been fun to use. But yeah, just kept building. Oh yeah, I had to take the tank out. Teach those bugs a lesson. Sometimes you gotta do it. Sometimes you just gotta do it. And I really spent a lot of time trying to perfect these little space boats. I was like, okay, if I can get one perfected, then I can build some other ones. And oh look, I have decided I was gonna be a eggplant. That was fun. And then my computer did not like the eggplant. And then so it kept dying. I was like, okay, let me add a hat. My computer didn't like it, and it just kept dying. And right then I discovered Fagoria, and I couldn't even concentrate enough to keep the camera going because I had to learn all this new stuff on Gleba. That's what I meant. And yeah, Gleba was an adventure. figuring out, okay, how does this spoil stuff work? How do I get rid of all the spoil stuff? How do I get nutrients going? How do I keep the nutrients flowing? What an adventure that was. What an adventure. It'd keep getting clogged. Oh, yeah. And then the yucca fruit or whatever was close, but the jelly nut was far. The jelly nut was far, far away. And then, yeah, I ran out of juice a lot on Gleba and just had a lot of issues early on trying to get it going. And like, okay, I gotta send more stuff to Gleba, help myself out here. And then, yep, I had the Jesus people come and try to convert me, but I was too busy with Gleba to pay any attention. But yeah, I've spent a lot of time on Gleba trying to figure all that out and get it just going. Eventually, though, I decided, okay, I need a nutrient plant. That kind of changed the course of Gleba. Once I said I need a nutrient loop, a nutrient generation looping thing. And so once I built that, it was like game over for Gleba, because once you have nutrients going, you're good. That's the trick. You got to get the nutrients going quick. And once you're all 100% nutrients, it makes everything else easier. Then you can find the jelly fruit. Get the jelly fruit going big. And then part of the nutrient loop was to take care of all the spoiled stuff, because you can change the spoiled stuff into nutrients. That really kind of changed the game for you. Yeah, I built Tub, and Tubber, kind of twin ships. It's like I got a good design, okay? I finally got Tub going, so I'm gonna make some more tubs. The dream back then was I'm gonna have like 20 different tubs going, and there's just gonna always be stuff moving, but didn't quite work out that way. I built Tub, and it was perfect for the inner planets. So it's perfect for Vulcanus, and it's perfect for Gleba. But once I finally got to Aquilo, it couldn't quite make it. I didn't quite have the oomph to survive the bigger asteroids. And I had to learn that kind of the hard way. Kind of had to learn it the hard way. You gotta upgrade. You gotta have at least rockets going. Gotta at least have the rockets going before you can get there. Otherwise, it won't make it. And then, had to figure out bacteria on Gleba and get the plates going. And as you can see on the stats for Gleba, there, at one point I was making mega plates. I forget why, but I needed a ton of iron or steel, and so I ended up making a bunch. But yeah, look at them go. Now we're learning tree seeding. That was interesting. Ooh, advanced asteroid processing. That totally changed the game for space. Because then instead of just making the one thing, it makes multiple things and really expands what you can do on the space platforms. So that was fun. I was excited when I got that. Basically had to design a whole new ship after that, because it's like, oh, this kind of changes it. Ah, yes, the Battle of Gleba. I did have to go out and take care of some things and get some new eggs and build new farms that were way out there. But eventually I got it going good. Here we are, day 4. I forgot the timer. Forgot to turn on the timer. I was too into Gleba. Gleba was rough. I'm telling you, it really sucked me in. I had to concentrate, trying to get all that stuff going. Had to go get the eggs and then get them making more eggs, and then not run out of eggs. You run out of nutrients, and then all of a sudden you're out of eggs. Still working on Gleba. Gleba took a long time, and I would say I got a little discouraged at some points, thinking, I don't know how this is gonna work out, but you really just gotta keep going. Eventually, you plug all the holes, and it starts working out. It starts working. And yeah, at this point, I'm like, okay, I gotta start upscaling some of this stuff. Making Vulcanus bigger, Gleba bigger. I think we're making Gleba science at this point. That was another thing I struggled with Gleba science, is I would get it back to novice and then it would go bad, and then all my science labs would get full of spoiled stuff, and I didn't have it set up to deal with the spoilage. So I had a lot of issues trying to get spoiled stuff out of science labs. So many. So many. Yep, tubs. Yeah, bringing roboports over and robots, because I was like, I had to supply so many robots to get these going, so I didn't have to be there. Yep, I built my jelly nut over here. Yeah, but Gleba was something else. You basically have infinite resources because you can grow them, and eventually you can even grow this size of the places you can grow stuff, so you can just have a massive farm. But you have the spoilage stuff, so basically you kind of have to set up a huge loop to get all the resources in, and then the spoilage going, and then the spoilage turn to nutrients so that you can process more stuff you grow. But yeah, and the base on novice through all this continues to grow. It just gets bigger and bigger. Continued to have to work on Fagoria. Yeah, Vulcanus was fairly easy to get the science kind of going. I didn't have to go back there a lot. It was pretty much set up. Yeah, studying mech armor. Stuck for a while. Stuck on 71%. Not learning and not doing any science. I think that was a Fagoria issue, because the science was difficult, and we eventually got it. Oh yeah, I went back to advanced asteroid processing. I think you needed Gleba science for that, if I remember right. And so that was tough because the science also spoils. So, like I was saying earlier, I had a lot of issues with the science and my labs going bad. But yeah, tubbish. So I just kept building tubbers, tubbish. Kept going. Yeah, they would fill up fairly quick. I ran into storage issues quite a bit with the space buggies, and it was tough. Gleba's where I struggled the most. Gleba was where I was like, okay, am I gonna actually beat the game? Are we gonna get there? Do I give up now? Do I keep going? And there was times I had to push myself pretty good to be like, hey, you just keep going, just keep grinding at it. If you can just play a little bit, you know, you'll get some research done. Learning the stack and starter. Yeah, look at all those corpses. And then I would just expand the factory over the corpse. Yeah. Struggling with the spoilage. And just having to keep building it. Just trying to get where I was getting enough science back home. The logistics was fairly easy at the beginning. Like looking back at this with just this many platforms seems a lot better. By the end of it, I was ending up with so many platforms, and then they would all kind of get stuck at one planet. A lot of times Fagoria, because they were all waiting for science. And so I would end up with 10 ships there and like one ship somewhere else. And so I just had to go and be like, hey, keep it going. I needed to work on Fagoria to get it boosted a little bit, but there we go. Now we're learning the Spidertron. 33%, 54%. Still working on my tubs. Yeah, had to switch to something else. It's like sometimes it's hard to get it back. Hard to get the science back to the bears. I struggled so much. Struggled so much trying to get all that Gleba science. Oh yeah, epic quality. Oh, yeah, we captured our first bug so that we can make biter eggs. Like I had to fix Vulcanus, looks like. Yeah, more power. Remember that. Struggled for power on Vulcanus for a minute there. But I kind of got my groove back eventually. That's kind of just taking a break from Gleba, I think. Thinking, okay, let me get a lot of resources. Oh yeah, and then I expanded way up north to get more jelly nut, which was a good expansion. It really brought a lot of unlimited resource to Gleba, but also brought the bugs. I think I lost Gleba a couple times. But yeah, I used to have a French toast thumbnail back then. I did not. I didn't add him on Discord running. Sorry, I probably maybe should make some friends and add some people, but I don't know. We gotta get to know each other. I'm cautious. I don't mess around. I don't like it. The times I have messed around, like I was playing Fortnite, and someone wanted to play with me, so I played with them. But I'm fairly certain they were cheating or some way, something. I don't know. We won like 3 games in a row, so I was pretty sure they were like aimbotting or something, just hacking. I don't want to be it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get hacked. I don't want to hack. I don't want to get hacked. I don't want to be hacked. I don't want to be part of a hack. Even if it wins, that's not fun. I want to win. I mean, I don't think I'm not very good at Fortnite. I won probably like 5 times. Mission Impossible. Oh yeah, taking the tank out on Gleba. I was like, this is the only way. I had to restart it because of the eggs. I had to restart the eggs probably like 6 or 7 times. Because I get the eggs going and then something would happen. They'd destroy the base or somebody would come and I would just, need to restart the eggs. And yeah, I was horrible with the timer this time. I don't know if you just saw that, but it went from like 5 hours down to like 5 days down to like 4 days, 23 hours. So we lost some time there, but I don't know. If the next time I do something like this, I need to work on the timer. I need to get a better timer. I need to make it easier. I need to be better at doing it. Like not like right now, it's stopped. That's no good. I don't know what happened. I would get sucked into the game. That's the problem. This game is very, very addictive, so it was very easy to get just sucked in and have no problem just losing hours. And I mean, that was probably a good thing as far as the goal goes of getting the game done and complete, beating it and being able to say, hey, that's me. I got get my place in the galaxy of fame. So just because you can end up dedicating the time. But yeah, when you beat the game, you get into the galaxy of fame. Oh yeah, the Texas Star. I said, okay, well I need to harvest some of these resources from space. So I'm gonna build this crazy little star-looking thing. Just fingers spread out so that it can gather things from space and process them and send them down. That was my first idea. With the new asteroid processing, I was like, ooh, okay, so I can get calcite from space. I don't have to bring it from Vulcanus over to Novice to run a foundry on Novice. I'll just create Texas Star and it'll grab some calcite for me. It did an okay job. It got it started, but it wasn't a whole lot, so I ended up having to bring it in anyway. But it was a good idea. I probably would repeat that idea again. Just to have extra resources, right? Just to bring the resources down. So, yeah, about halfway. We're halfway through. What's crazy is we're halfway through, but we've discovered there's only one more planet left. And then once I get there, that's where I start hitting the big walls. And I'll be honest, at the end of the game, I did take my time. Like, I didn't really want to see the game be over just yet. So, I did take my time, make sure I was super ready. And, I was going through some stuff in life, just in general. Like, with my family and everything. I had recently moved to a new state, and my mom is sick, and I got, offspring that do all kinds of crazy stuff that I have to take care of. And So it was hard to find time to play it, you know, as well. So sometimes I would just log on for a little bit, just mess around, and be like, okay, well, I can let the research go for a little bit, and I'll just fart around for 10 minutes, and that's all I can manage right now. And that worked. That worked out, because it just kept the momentum going a little bit, and eventually things got a little bit better. Um, I mean, it's still going on. They're not 100% better yet, and I don't know if it's ever gonna be 100% better. I'm just gonna try my best and work hard on my stuff and have fun and do my own accomplishments and try to be close to the people I love and just do my best with that, and try not to worry as much. What I feel like with the job I have right now and the way my family and relationships are going, I have so much anxiety and so much anxiety. That's the best way to describe it, and I feel like it's causing some health stuff, and so I really kind of need to chill. I need to relax a little bit and figure that stuff out and not be so stressed out. Health should be number one. Number one should be health, and once you get your health good, then you can enjoy stuff. You can play games, you can make stuff. I can make videos, but if I'm not healthy and I don't feel good, then I won't get to do that stuff anyway. So yeah, look at how big Novice is. Novice just kept growing and growing and growing, and more bots. I ended up just like setting up the bots to be created and just keep making them, and it never stopped making them. It made them the whole game, and just added more and more and more. And eventually it got to where there was enough. I probably could have stopped it, but it was just it was nice having that many bots and then not worrying about when they get killed. Because later on Novice, I'm trying to kill some worms and things like that, and running out of bots because the worms would come and totally take out like 100 bots, and I didn't have the production going on Novice. And look, we took a little. I tried to go to Aquilo. I saw Tub trying to make it out there. I don't think Tub can't make it. I had to learn that the hard way, trying to go out there and just getting obliterated. Yeah. Oh, look. I'm like, okay, maybe if I add some like extensions, but the problem is there's no rockets on the tubs. I went all bullets, and I thought, if I have enough bullets, it'll do it. But the big asteroids and the bullets, they don't care. They like it. They like it when you shoot them. You need at least a rocket. Look at that. I'm bad at the timer again. Bad at the timer again. Yeah, and then I was devastated. Oh, no. Oh, I tried again. No. Oh, but I made it. I made it out there. It's this little island. Dropped off my guy so I could explore. I made a big mistake on Aquilo. So, I'd land on that little island, and I think, oh, there's none of the resources are here. I mean, there's a little bit of oil in the south, I think. But I was like, there's no resources, and I ended up finding them on an island way on the other side of this ocean. And as you'll see, I spent quite a bit of time trying to build a pipeline across the ocean. I don't know what I spent. I thought that's the only place I can get it. I, have to build a pipeline across. So I'm gonna build ice and try to get all the way across. And then when I finally finish the pipeline, I look over to the right just a little bit, and there is the resource on the island. I swear it wasn't there. I didn't see it. Maybe it popped up. Maybe I need to go back and review the video and determine if it was actually there, and I just am blind and didn't see it and built this whole unnecessary pipeline. But it was fun. It was fun to build the pipeline, and I should probably see how many hours did I spend working on uranium stuff. Now, yes, building Aquilo. Had to start somewhere. Had to figure it out. It's not too bad. It's like just a little bit of different fluid recipes and stuff, and then dealing with the frozen. You gotta heat up everything. So that's a new thing. Trying to figure out how to get it all to fit. And then I didn't realize it at the time, but ice is gonna be a huge problem. I thought, oh, no worries. I'll just take the ice and put it in a boiler and boil it and then make power out of it. And that'll take care of all the ice. But there's a lot of ice. A lot. You need to use a lot of power to go through all that ice. And there's not a lot of room. You kind of got to build your own room kind of stuff. Yeah, I worked on that a lot, trying to figure out uranium to get the balance going. Because I didn't want to look it up. I didn't want to look up any ratios. I wanted to try to figure it out on my own. And I don't think I ever really figured it out. I just kind of got it half working enough that it produced way more than I ever needed, so it is good enough. Nexus 1, yeah, I'm trying new designs because I'm like, okay, Tubber, they can get out there, but they get so damaged that they're not making it back, so it's kind of a one-way trip. I did a couple one-ways. And it was like, okay, well, let me send some supplies out there so they can rebuild the ship, and then the ship can fly back. But it's like, I just need to redesign this. I just need to redesign. So we've discovered all the planets. And so we're about halfway to getting to the end there, right? Which is crazy. Like, I gotta build up these planets, double what they are, basically, in order to get a ship out there. I also have to go through many ship designs. I go through so many ship designs. I try so many weird things. I don't know what I was thinking, really. Just kind of trying to figure out, like, what type of ship can I do. And it gets a little frustrating. It gets like, you can see from some of the ship names that come up, where I'm like, this is the one. Like, well, we'll see. I don't remember the exact names, but like, eventually I find one that I like and kind of settle on and get it going. And you'll see I make like 9 of them, because I'm like, okay, we gotta up the game. We gotta get more logistics going. the tubbers just aren't moving fast enough, and they get full up, and they can't go to Aquilo. But I also, I needed way more steel, and I needed to be able to build platforms, because I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna build a lot of ships, I need like a ton of platforms. So I went crazy with the platforms. Crazy with the platforms. And just got to keep building. I needed more power. Kept running out of juice. Had to keep expanding the power plant. I didn't really know how to build the nuclear power plant very well, so my design was not very efficient. After beating it, I kind of read a little bit. I think that you get bonuses by having like it built certain ways and next to each other, and then managing the heat right. And I didn't. I just connected it spaghetti style, and it worked. It worked. I just had to keep expanding it, and by the end of the game, it was like the giant, biggest power plant you've ever seen. Yeah, Nexus 1, that's the one that was like, okay, yeah, this is the one. It wasn't, but I was hopeful. I was hopeful. The bugs were a constant issue, but it was kind of like under control, so I didn't worry too much about it. Yeah, Nexus 1, I tried the same thing. I tried the same thing, and it doesn't work. I had to learn the hard way. And I didn't learn. Didn't learn. Yeah. I guess I did. I had so many connection problems. That was another thing. I was live streaming. I was trying to do Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And I just would have connection issues all the time. I think maybe my internet's not good enough to do all that, but I also share it with a lot of other people, and they're streaming and doing other stuff. So yeah, people were very impressed with the spaghetti. I did get a lot of people saying, "Hey, this is awesome. I love the spaghetti." And I had to give tours. I gave a couple tours of the bases because people would be curious. And it's kind of one of those things, like the way it's set up. Like only I know how it works, which is kind of cool. I mean, people who play Factorio sort of know how it works, but only I know how the spaghetti really works to put how it gets all put together. So that was fun. Giving base tours is fun. Maybe I'll add a base tour at the end of this time lapse. So once we beat it, I can give you an official tour of the end base. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how long a Factorio video should be, but you know, it's interesting. Oh yes, I did this big, long-looking centipede-style boat. A lot of hammerhead-looking style ships. That's kind of the idea. Was like, okay, I'll just build a big broom thing up front, and it'll sweep through. I'll put a bunch of weapons up there, and it'll sweep through and knock out all the asteroids for the ship to fly through. But oh yeah, I call it pivot. I was like, whatever I'm doing is not working. So we're pivoting to this monstrosity. This is kind of like Hammerhead on top with Centipede body down below with all the things I was trying to do. I was like, oh yeah, this is the one. Look how big I'm going. I'm going mega big with the rockets. Not big enough. It wasn't big enough. Should have gone crazier with the rockets. Now I know better. Now I know if you're building a boat, a space boat, and you're going to put rockets on it and the rocket production on the space boat, you need a lot of explosives. Probably like 10 times as many explosives as you think. I went one thing making explosives, no good. On my last boat, I had 3 things making explosives, no good. You need more. You just need a lot of rockets. Like I would go heavy, big on rockets. What that little bit I did right there, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. In hindsight, I know I was excited. I was like, "This is it. This is it. This is the one. This is the one." I was like, "We're gonna get that Arquillo science, and we're gonna bring it back like no other." Actually, I think I was just trying to get supplies out to Aquilo at this point. It's like, I need to build the base out there. I need the stuff to build the base. I ain't got no stuff to build the base. Yeah. When frustrated, you just build novice bigger. Oh yeah, the fingers. I was like, I'll just put these long fingers that stick out. And yep, I never quite learned. And you can see I made a pivot too. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to copy it and paste it and make a copy and then make it better. But did it work? No. Did it work? No. It was a noble attempt, I will say. A noble attempt. Which I was proud of. I thought that I just needed to make it a little bit better. Pivot 3. See, I was like, this is I'm gonna make better versions. But it was just too big of a monstrosity, and it didn't make enough, and it didn't have enough going for it, you know? Like, by the end of it, I realized you kind of need all the weapons going. Like, you need rail guns, you need rockets, you need regular guns, you need lasers. I mean, the more the better. You just need all of it, I think. Just need all of it. I tried so hard with Pivot. So hard. So hard. Quack Goes the Goose stopped by and said, "Hey, what's up? You got a mic?" See, there was a delay. Another problem with the streaming was the delay between the chat, and then it would take like 30 seconds to show up where I saw it, and then I would respond, and then it would take 30 seconds for the person who chatted to hear the response. And so I feel like maybe that's related to my internet. I don't know, but maybe I got some lag issues or something. Some lag or something going on. I don't know. Something to, like, I have like 10 things I need to fix next time. Like, I was kind of considering playing a similar game, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. The open one. They haven't. They have one that they've updated. They've kept up to date. So that one, but maybe doing a live stream of that, and then doing the same thing, and then I don't know. I don't think that's a 260-hour game or whatever. So I don't think the time lapse will have to be this quick, so that we can fit it in one video. But that would be a fun game to do. But I need to fix the issues, right? I need to make sure that people can chat and hang out and stuff like that. That's what makes the live stream part fun. Other than recording it, it's good to get it recorded that way. That helps with the storage because it all goes onto YouTube and things like that. I mean, I do have some storage that I can put it on. So, like, I'm recording this right now, not doing it as a live stream, but just watching the time lapse. I guess I could have done it as a live stream. But anyway, yeah, I have some space, but I don't have like that amount of space. Like, as soon as I record this, I'm probably going to delete all the videos. I'll probably put it in like a playlist and then unlist them. I've seen some do that where, so like if you want to watch the thing, like if you have a lot of time and you want to watch me nerding out playing Factorio, then you can play the playlist and see all the unlisted ones, even though, because I don't want my YouTube channel to say I have 1,000 videos when it's mostly just me playing this. And then, yeah, because of my connection issues, sometimes YouTube would create like 10 videos of the same day, like 20 minutes a piece. And it's like, that's one stream. It should be one video, and it's like too many. So that's why I'm thinking about unlisting them and then putting them in a playlist so you could still see them. So I don't know. I think I've seen that before, so I maybe want to find that again and just check it out and see what that was. But yeah, I really struggled with Pivot. You see I got Pivot 4. It wasn't the best idea, and I didn't want to let it go. I thought I could make it work. I was like, I'm going to make this Pivot work. It's like, I thought I could make this work. So I tried so hard. Oh my God, how I tried. For revolution. Yeah. And then eventually, we'll see. I give up on the Pivot idea. I think I crash and burn so many of them trying to get to Aquilo. And then when I get to Aquilo, it's like, I have to dump everything. Emergency dump. Where the ship's not going to make it. So dump everything to the planet. Just to have it there. You may use it one day. Just leave it on the planet. All the stuff to make spaceships. Whatever you can salvage. Instead of just losing it. Most of the time I'd lose the spaceship. It'd be flying out into space, and the asteroid would hit the nuclear reactor, which would then take everything out. So I guess that's a good way to go. Go out with a bang. Oh yeah, I tried to use that. It's not about that. Those big asteroids would just rip through the ship like it was nothing. I eventually learned it. And I was like, okay. This was another drag stuff. I finally got Gleba going, but then I got stuck trying to get a spaceship that would get me to Aquilo. I was like, okay, we'll work on plate productivity. very slowly and just try to do our best. Yeah, and I died. I was taking a lot of... Oh, I died again. Gleba. Yeah, Gleba got attacked. And I went out looking for eggs to try to rebuild. Died a few times. I got stomped. Got stomped by the stompers. And they took out the base a couple times. And it was like, okay, we'll load up tubbers with what we need to replace it. Oh yeah, I was like, I'm ending the need for green. So I built a big green production on Novice. And never needed green again after that. Needed more calcite, but never needed green. Green. Saying I'm solving the green problem once and for all. And then it did. I had so many green chips after that. Too many. Too many. Rebuilding Gleba. Yeah, I'm gonna get eggs. Get it started again. But it's alright. The trick is you got bots, right? So don't give up. Just leave your blueprints. Try to rebuild. Try to take out whatever's causing the issue. Oh yeah, working with the trains in my nuclear power plant. Oh yeah, someone said I sounded dead inside while I was streaming. I don't know how to feel about that. Were they saying I needed more energy? Sometimes I do feel like I'm a little low energy, but if I've been streaming for a long time, maybe I was just tired. Or a lot of times I would play after work. Again with the time. Will, geez. A lot of times I would play after work, and so I would be dead inside. Because you see, I work in a call center, and when you talk on the phone all day, like 40 phone calls, and sometimes they can last 10 minutes, you feel a little dead inside. You feel a little like your soul has been taken out of your body, which it has a little bit, I would say. It has. So, but yeah, had to keep just trying. Delivering a lot of stuff to Aquilo, but it's usually a one-way trip at this point. Usually a one-way trip at this point. Let's see. I did not have enough storage on Aquilo, so we had a lot of storage issues. But yeah, so anyway, Aquilo, I didn't realize that the bots worked a little bit differently. I mean, they just seem to have a shorter delivery distance before they need to recharge, and so I didn't realize early on that I was going to end up needing so many bots and so many recharge stations and all that good stuff. But yeah, still working on that pivot, thinking that's the way to go, but I don't know. It just did not work out. You lose the front broom, and then all of a sudden it just chops all the arms off, and then yeah, fun challenge. Spear 6. I created Spear 6. That's when I finally figured out, okay, maybe I need something that has like a spear looking thing with a bunch of rockets. Now I need to be making rockets. Just keep it going that way. So, Frozen Horizon, another design I tried that, yeah, I had to keep trying. I finally got some Aquilo science going. But yeah, Aquilo, I really liked how it's kind of like an outpost, so like it relates like to almost like an Arctic outpost. So yeah, it looks like I'm on day 100. So I've done 100 sessions, 6 days of playtime. They're about almost 7 days. Of course, my timer, not the best, but yeah, I had some issues with Gleba and bugs. They destroyed Gleba a couple times. I had to send basically all the supplies back over with some bots and everything to get it going again. But eventually we get it going. If you set up a crazy enough logistics network, then really you can get destroyed and then you can rebuild it and it'll be fine. So expanding Fagoria to the upper islands. The little one base I had down south just wasn't doing it. I needed more trash. I needed more room. And there's a giant island up top, so that's where Fulgoria kind of exploded. Because in the end, I needed a much bigger Fulgoria plant, for sure. If I continue to play, I'm going to even expand it more. Now that I have foundation, build some bridges across the ocean and connect everything a little bit better. And you'll see a little bit later, I build a quite extensive train network here on Fulgoria just because I needed to bring more supplies to the big island up top. Kept running out of those Homium plates, so I went a little crazy. But never had to worry about Homium plates again after that. After that point, it was taken care of. And then, yeah, I even went with all the different qualities. Back to Fagoria, kind of trying to set up everything and get deliveries of plates and all that good stuff going. Because you can't really make a whole lot of stuff out there, so you really have to bring everything in, like Homium plates. But I eventually got there. I eventually decided, well, I can't really go any further without making a reliable route between Aquilo and the rest. Yeah. Quinlan, I made a bunch of these boats didn't make it to the end. I don't recognize these names. The Tubbers, they made it. They're going good. But yeah, I had a lot of people come and comment about the Space Age. Well, I guess a lot of people have played the original Factorio and wanted to come, see this and see what it's about a little bit. And see what it was all about. Oh yeah, I was gonna try to build a skinny ear tubber that's just massive, but I don't know. This one, I think I crashed it, and then I got kind of sad about it because it was like, oh, come on. Yeah, Novice had to continue to grow basically through the whole thing. Every once in a while, something would happen. Bugs would get somewhere they shouldn't, or I'd run out of something. And Novice was kind of my main base for pretty much everything. You can see my ship building is getting a little quicker. I was like, I'll try the hammerhead shark method. Oh yeah, I put all these little tentacles out to grab the stuff better. They weren't grabbing the pieces. Yeah, logistics on Aquila was rough for a long time. I just would leave stuff on the ground and let the bots pick it up slowly. Yeah, there's my long pipeline I was talking about earlier, where I was trying to build it all the way out to the island because I thought that was the only place where that resource was. I needed to pipe it in. So I spent a long time building platforms, more platforms, and then shipping in pipes, and then more platforms, and then pipes, and then... Yeah, this design, I tried to get this to work a lot. I tried over and over. I tried. And then I stretched it out again. So, tried that several times. Trying to make just something that can make it and make it back and not have to be constantly, worked on, repaired, or managed. Or like, I think up to this point, they'd all been suicide ships, so... The Corgi has spoken. He is angry. I am not sure about what. I gave him breakfast. Anyways, this ship I thought would be cool, but just couldn't swing it. Needed more rockets, more bullets. It got a lot easier once I got rail guns, because up until then it was a little difficult. Yeah, I'm gonna build the biggest thing I can build. No, okay, let's just build something. It's my bad Bach. Yeah, this was the first pointer in the pointer series. Now this ship, this is the powerhouse of the game. This is the thing. This is the one that really got me through. The workhorse, I call it. It worked well enough that I made a bunch of them. But slowly but surely I got it put together. Lost a couple of those. Oh yeah. Lost the engine, so I just put one engine on the back to try to get it back to a planet so I could dump everything. Remember if I tried that ship one more time or if I gave it up there. I may have given up at that point. I don't remember. Once I've got my bad Bach, that really was the game changer. Because I had guns and the rockets. And I had a little gun nose, and it just worked much better. No rail guns yet. I haven't got the rail guns going until Aquila's up and running 100%. So taking it out, testing, running it around, making adjustments. It did take some updates. It was not perfect. It was not easy to kind of figure out how to make that work, but eventually we got there. And that ship was a good one, man. That ship made thousands of trips. So that's kind of the MVP of the game, I think, is that the pointer series. And you'll see later, I just started calling them like point X1, point X2. Just like, okay, this is it. I figured it out. But it was hard. It took a long time. Oh, Gleba got destroyed again. It would happen pretty quick too, so. And it's like, okay, let's just start shipping stuff. What does Gleba need? Start shipping it. Fill up tubbers. Keep working on the bad Bach. That's all I could do at this point. Let's see, we're on day 102. I did spend, I guess, some good time on day 100. I was like, it's a big day, let's go. And I think that was a good stream. I think we had some good people stop by, so it's a little more fun when a good number of people stop by. I always have a couple, but when I have a bunch, then it's a lot more fun. And yeah, just keep working on this guy, keep building it, and then getting the rockets going. A ship that makes its own rockets is the key. That's what I really needed. I did end up shipping a lot of rockets up, but really manufacturing them on novice and flying them up is a little bit of a resource intensive project. So making them on the boat, much better idea. Still rebuilding Gleba, slowly but surely. It took a couple times, and then I was like, okay, I gotta go and kill all these bad guys. I gotta make sure this place is safe. Slowly building the boats. We're just trying to get set up for Aquilo. That was the goal of this whole many day patch. Null Vertex, yeah. He stopped by for a minute. Sometimes I have people that try to get me to install things or use patches, or they'll say I'm a developer and I have this cool Twitch thing, but I don't know. That's nice and I appreciate it, but I don't think I'm ever gonna do any of that kind of stuff. I don't wanna get a virus going. I don't wanna be rude, but I don't wanna get a virus. So, I mean, you should just make a video of it showing off and then send that to me, and then I'll check it out. And then I'll say it's cool, or whatever you're looking for. I don't know, because I ain't got no money. It's like you're coming to a French fry, trying to get money. So I feel like this part, did it duplicate it? We might be watching the same thing over again, but it's just a little piece. I like I was saying earlier, I had the problems with my signal and it just caused issues with streaming to YouTube. Most of the time it'd work okay, but man, when it didn't, I'd have like a whole bunch of video clips. And really, I put this all together with like a Python script, so this is the first time I'm watching it, you and me, together. Yeah, null vertex trying to get me to accept a repo. I looked at it, but I'm not looking to run stuff on the computer just yet, guys. Maybe once I have a better setup, maybe if I have like a separate computer, I can do like a I'll run your stuff night, and then if you do have a virus or whatever you're trying to do to me, it'll be on a separate computer that I can then throw out into the back and burn it, you know, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, look at that. It's getting better. It's getting better. The boat, it is getting better. Getting better. And I think it was about this time when, yeah, after we're repeating again. Let's see, let's go forward, make sure it's not day 111. Okay, 114. But yeah, now you can see I have point X1, point X2. I start building copies of it and just copying the ship and getting it going. I'm not sure what was up with the duplicated clips there. I'm gonna blame my stream. Yeah, I tried some little funky designs because the points were going okay, but they weren't doing great. And then I was like, well, let's just keep improving on the points and then adding a little bit more and getting it going that way. But yeah, 115 days since I started logging on and playing. I don't even know how I found the time. I'm very, very busy French fry. I don't know how I found the time to even play that many sessions. 116 or 8 days, 14 hours in, about, depending on how well I did. It did okay. I think I may have left it running without streaming a time, and so it caught up the times that I missed it. And by pure chance and luck, I just ended up at the end of the day. I also had an issue with restreams. That's who I was using to multi-stream. So I wanted to stream on Twitch, and then I wanted to stream on YouTube. I wanted to stream on like Kick, all at the same time. And YouTube has it where you can stream in different formats. So you can do a live stream in like their shorts type format, and you can do a live stream in their like long form type format, so the big, normal big screen type live stream. And if you set up your OBS with this special plugin and you do it just right, you can get it where it plays both short form and the long form sizes. And that's great on YouTube because then you get people going to the short form who are into that, and then you get people going to the long form size who are into that. And when I would do that, I got it working, I would get a lot more views. A lot more people would come in and check it out. So, but along the way, the plugin broke, and so whatever was happening on YouTube was getting messed up, and it was creating extra videos and not streaming it right, and it would just create two normal long form ones streaming at the same time or do weird things like that. So kind of learning experience there, doing this long streaming. I think next time for this roller coaster tycoon thing, maybe we will be a lot better just from all that we've learned from this guy. Still fighting bugs. The bugs never stopped. You can see down at the bottom that little red triangle warning that was just constant the whole time, the whole game pretty much. Yeah, lots of bugs. Yes, I finally got rail guns, and that changed the game. The rail guns really made it a possibility. It's like, okay, yeah, with a little railgun action here, I can easily get to Aquilo. That was like nothing. Solar System Edge, I did a few tests and was like, ooh, not quite ready. Yeah, I built this monstrosity. I think another hammerhead, but with railguns. It's like, yes. All I need is just to get a big boat with a lot of railguns to go to the Solar System Edge, and then we win. That's all we need. And it was nice. It was a good boat, and it worked once we got everything filled up. Once we got everything in there. Yeah, and then once I got railgun production going, that was very exciting. A little slow at first, but letting it run for a while and then going back and seeing 100. Yeah, the first ships didn't make it. They were research vessels. We salute their sacrifice to us so that we could learn. Yeah, visibility. I was like, okay, I'm going to work on visibility. I'm going to make visibility the best. Day 124. It's like I'm going to put my heart and soul into visibility. And we're going to do lots of tests. And we're not going to take big risks. We're going to do small risks, small tests, small risks, small tests. Just build it up that way. Yes. It's like, okay, I need to get Vulcanus going. Because when you get to Aquilo, you suddenly need stuff from Vulcanus. So I had to do a little upgrade there. Which is cool. That's one thing I really liked about the game, is it kind of gives you that reason to sometimes go back to your old stuff and revamp it a little bit and figure that out a little better. And I was like, okay, yep, I need to be fully loaded with ice, fully loaded with rockets. I made quite the spaghetti on that ship. The spaghetti was something else. It was something else. And this is when, I probably could have made it at this point. Get the ship loaded up, it probably would have made it. But I was just like, oh, I think this is close to the end. I really want to make it perfect and enjoy the game as much as I can before the end. Make this craziest spaghetti I can imagine. And then, oh yeah, it didn't work out. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna add some crazy looking things and make it like a huge 3 looking ship, which you can see in the window. a little overkill as far as all the guns and everything. I probably didn't need that many real guns on the side, but I was making them, so it's like, let's use them. Let's get this. And it just had so many weapons on it. And here I am, the fry comes into play. I finally decide that it's not cool to not have a visual of me somewhere, right? I need to come out, stop hiding. But I had to figure it out first, because when I first set it up, it kind of started melting my computer. It was a little processing intensive, and so I had to do a little work on it to get it to its current state, where now it does not melt the computer. I can stream, I can play. As you can see, my eyes, there's something wrong with the eyes. I was still working on it. There's something wrong with my eyes. The camera, I needed to fix the camera. It wasn't picking me up correctly. It's hard when you're a fry to use a camera that's designed for humans. There's a lot of like grease involved and salt, and it just causes issues. Again, I forget the timer, but time to expand Fagorio a little bit. Pointers are doing good. The workhorses of my society. And it's like, okay, I think I'm finally getting there. I think we're just building up some more stuff, doing some last minute updates, tweaking with stuff, farting around, I would say. I'm pretty sure at close to this point I've done all the technologies. I'm really just doing the bonuses at this point. Oh yeah, I added some engines to visibility. Alright, and I say today is the day I'm going to beat Factorio. Day 130. It was a good day. It was so exciting. And I brought out the fry. It had to be the fry for the 130th. Had lots of people there to witness the great achievement of the last month or so. The last couple months. Well, it was 130 days, so here we can. It wasn't time wasted, y'all. It was good. Oh yes. Someone tried to convert the French fry. There's nothing wrong with the French fry, believing in God. True, maybe. True, but And then I said, okay. I think eventually I say, okay, it's time. It is time. Yeah, rockets on Aquila is also another issue. You have to kind of bring everything in. It's slow to load with all the bots. And I did it! I did it! That was it! What an amazing game. I can't believe that it's over, I can't believe that after 130 different sessions, let's see if I can get it to pause on the very end. Here we go. I want to see the final screen. Oh, it was close. It was a very close one at the end there. Congratulations. 247 hours, 32 minutes, and 3 seconds. So now, can I beat it in 100 hours?